Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll call to order the March 2024 meeting of the Homewood Planning Commission. If we could please start with a roll call.
All right. Mr. Henniger,
Here.
Ms. Wilcott, Mr. Harwell, Mr. Respento, Mr. Armstead,
Here.
Mr. Broadhead,
Here.
Ms. Andress,
Here.
Mr. Goulas, and Mr. Roberts.
Here. Thank you. All right, next up, approval of the February minutes. If everyone had a chance to review those, they look good to me. If they look good to everyone else, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the minutes pass. Communications, Mr. Armstead, do you have any communications as vice chair?
No, sir.
I have none as chair. We have no old business, so we skip straight to new business. The first case is a resurvey request relating to 3030 Independence Drive, 1909 Oxmoor Road, 3008 Drake Street, 1906 Courtney Drive. And the applicant is Shoal Engineering. If you come forward now, and the case numbers are, RS 24-03-01. If you come forward, state your name, address, write it in the pad there on the podium, and then tell us why you're here.
Yes, my name is Mark Clark. I am with Shoal Engineering. I am the surveyor of record. We are here in Birmingham, and we are here to ask for this resurvey of 5 lots of vacated right-of-way and some acreage into one lot for the redevelopment of that lot. And I will gladly try to answer any questions anyone might have.
No, thank you. We will, this is a public hearing, so we're gonna open up first the public portion of the hearing. So if anyone wants to come forward and speak to this case, this is your opportunity. Okay, Mr. Clark, we don't see anyone for the public portion, so we'll close the public portion and open up for questions. You were already in for we've already heard the development plan for the new Piggly Wiggly and I guess the rezoning cases have all gone through City Council. So
And
I understand this
vacation as well, yes.
is the last piece before
That's correct.
the whole pie can be put together. Okay.
I just have a question, just for not particularly to address this issue, but just wondering if you all are going to do any hopeful improvements on this parking that's right adjacent to Oxmoor, that sidewalk, that little bitty sidewalk. We have very little right of way right there, and it's kind of a mess right there. I was just wondering if y'all are doing, if that's part of the plans, or if you knew that or not.
I'm not sure. That's, I'm the surveyor, so I'm not sure what the engineering plans show as far as that goes, but I don't think so, but I know there's a strip across the front there that they're not planning on doing anything with at this time.
Yes.
According to the development plan, there are no proposed improvements for that area.
I'll go on record and say it needs it, but maybe that will come one day.
If there
I would make a motion to approve RS 240301.
Second.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I did.
Mr. Bright? All right, thank you. All right. Yeah, Mr. Armstead,
Yes.
Mr. Henniger,
Yes.
Ms. Andress,
Yes.
Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes, so your resurvey passes by 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, next up is case AD 24-03-02. It's a request for an amended development plan for Sanford University for a proposed north parking lot deck expansion. The applicant's Landmark Development Company. Whoever's here to present the case, if you come forward, again, state your name and address for the record and write it on the pad, please.
Hello, my name is Caleb Martin with Cadre Engineering, presenting to you, I guess, the north parking deck expansion for Sanford University. This parking deck, I guess, appears on the current final development plan, has already been approved, and we are modifying its orientation slightly, which is why we're here today. The deck will be more or less just an extension of the existing deck. Will match, kind of the same heights, the number of floors, and those types of things. So it's located kind of on the northwest side of campus, in between facilities and the existing deck and the central chiller plant. It's kind of centrally located to, I guess, several of the dorms on the quad, which will hopefully will be serving. I guess this project is, I guess, necessitated by the number of students that have been enrolled recently. I guess the student count is just continually rising. So this effort is to get those students on campus, parking on campus with a convenient area, and get them kind of out of the community from renting single-family houses or apartments around the campus. So yeah, I guess I'll just open that up.
Thank you. With that, we will open up the public portion of tonight's hearing. If anyone here from the public is here to speak on this case, this will be your opportunity to come forward. Ma'am, if you could just, again, write your name and address on the pad and state it for the record.
My name's Erin Isbell. I am at 1608 Salter Road. We're right across from where the deck's going in. My husband and I sent an email to Mr. Goodwin requesting that something be done about the lighting. We don't have a problem with the deck per se, but the lighting itself at night is a real issue. It's a ton of light pollution. It shines right into the front of our house currently from the current deck. The addition's gonna just make it worse. And we, in the email that we sent to Mr. Goodwin, included some suggestions of different types of lighting that could be subbed for what is currently there. The lights can be capped. Right now they're just like stadium lights and they shine all night. And we have blackout curtains on my children's bedrooms and it's just unpleasant. And this is gonna make it much worse. And we're looking right at it. So yeah, if somebody could include that in the plan, that would be fantastic. So, thank you.
Let's wait until we close the public portion. Yeah, if anyone else is here to speak on the case, not from the public, not an applicant, come forward now. Seeing no one, we'll close the public portion and open it back up for questions. If you could just start by addressing Ms. Isbell's comments.
Sure, yeah, so we would like to be a good neighbor. Obviously, Sanford's been in Homewood for a long time. Want to be good neighbors to those around us. We've received that comment and would like to address it. So I guess when the initial deck went in, the lights that were put in were more decorative, which shined in all different directions. And the proposed deck, we would like to go back with more of a directional light that could even be fitted with shields such that it doesn't pollute surrounding properties. And to that extent, I guess we would like to update the existing deck with those same type fixtures so that they're consistent throughout to try and prevent that pollution to the surrounding properties.
Thank you. If you could just stay up, we might have other questions. I'm sure we will. with the public portion is closed, so one other, talking with staff, one other item that was suggested was a photometric that would measure the number of lumens at the property line, I guess under at Salter or wherever around there. Is that something you could proffer providing as well?
Absolutely.
So Chairman Roberts, just to clarify, that becomes part of the development plan, what they just, you're proffering the lumens, measuring lumens, as well as changing the lighting all throughout the parking deck, that now becomes part of the development plan
That was
we're
my
voting on.
understanding, yes.
Okay,
Okay,
yep.
so we can provide that.
And I know that in the pre-meeting, we heard that there'll be a BZA, a Board of Zoning Adjustments case for the height of the structure, because to match it with the existing structure would put you above I think it was a 35-foot limit. Do you recall how tall they would be at its highest point?
I believe it was a 16,
18 feet, 6 inches above the 35-foot
so that puts us at 52 feet above the 53.6
Okay.
above the lowest.
Yeah, it's obviously not part of tonight. That'll be part of the BZA case. I just wanted to get a sense.
Correct.
On the photometric plan, Stuart, if I may, I mean, you can provide a photometric plan, but then we're all gonna look at it and not really know what it says and what it means.
Okay.
So if you can kind of talk through, I think, what your goals may be for the photometric.
So the goal, I believe, would be to reduce the amount of lumens exiting the property and shining onto those, obviously, those neighbors around us. And would we be able to, Tony, sorry, our
Yeah.
electrical engineer?
I don't know if zero is possible or.
Yes, we have so much cut off of these new lights that
No.
we can pretty much cut off the light at zero,
Now,
all property lines.
would you identify yourself, and then two, speaking to the mic?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Anthony Dodd with Hayes Chewood Electrical Consulting Engineers from Pinson, Alabama. And so the new area lights that are used now, we can directly just cut off the light at the property. So it's very well controlled, the lights we use now, so I don't think it'll be an issue. Of course, that light's gonna be mounted, I'm gonna keep it as low as possible, maybe 15 feet, but you will still be able to see a source of light, of course, but the light pollution will stop it, hopefully contained within the deck, so.
And if you mind writing down your name and address on the pad, sorry, we just need to make sure we got clean minutes.
Can I ask Ms. Isbell if that addresses her concerns? Is that okay? It does, okay.
Yes, thank you.
And Caleb, I thought it was interesting, the ability of the lights to lower when not in use. Maybe
Yes,
you
the
might
technology-
just speak to that, yeah.
The technology in the lights now is, we can put an occupancy sensor in the lights, and when the deck is unoccupied at night, say after 20 minutes after a car has driven away or a person's walked in or walked out, the lights can dim down to approximately 30%. So if you're 2-foot candles, you may be able to drop down to less than a foot candle. And when somebody drives into that space, it will come on, brighten up for security reasons, and when that person either exits the parking deck, it will lower down after 30 minutes. But that's the maximum time. We could set the limit to 15, is between 15 and 30 minutes.
And so we're saying the plan would include both the dimming and the directional, is that what we're kind of proffering here? I don't, to your point, Caleb, how do we?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I feel like that's the proper, I mean, you're gonna provide a photometric plan, but there needs to be some boundaries set.
I mean, I can give you the IES recommendations of security levels. I mean, we're all liability for the Sanford University of security of the students. So we have to meet those certain requirements, but when it's unoccupied, we can lower those requirements And when students are there, we raise them back up. So,
And it, not to add any work to your scope, but it may be helpful to see where we are now.
Okay,
With what's existing and then what's being proposed, to see the reduction.
okay. What I can do is I can give you a horizontal foot candle reading and a vertical foot candle reading, so you can see the blob of lights that are going out. And then I'll do a vertical and horizontal for the new, where you can see it's been cut off. So I can provide renderings as well.
And we're saying that would apply to the entirety of the parking deck, old and new?
Yes, I can.
This- Okay, updated lights, okay.
I believe this was addressed earlier, not to shift subjects, we're still talking about lights, but the students who park there, you're anticipating those will be on-campus living students, they're not commuters coming in and out, you know, creating. I mean, I know that the students will, is there a plan or an expectation on that issue? Like how many of the parking spots will be for on-campus residents versus? And I guess the related question is, if some of those are commuters, are they already commuting in to campus every day and parking on campus? Because I think that'd be important to know.
Number of commuters versus on campus is using the deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it, oh, let me, I'll speak aside. This is Jeff Polishek with Sanford University, and I think we're always adjusting that balance as we go. We currently have about 5,000 parking spaces on campus. This will add another 550 to that. But we're also adding, 650 bed spaces with our students, with the 2 new projects that have already been approved. And so we adjust our commuter spaces as necessary, almost by semester. We're usually adjusting things around. Sometimes we have less commuter students, more commuter students. And so the expectation would be that of these, 600 plus new bed spaces, the majority of them would park in these decks close to where they live, but we can flex as we need to. The parking map does adjust, sometimes by semester, to accommodate what the need is for campus. Some of that is, again, we are a lot heavier in the fall than we are in the spring, parking-wise, just the way the numbers work out, so we make some adjustments by fall to spring semesters as well. So,
And to that point, the dorms that we're putting in now should lower, theoretically lower the amount of commuter parking that you have coming to campus, just because they are living there.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Just to
Yeah.
address.
I would entertain a motion again with the 2 proffers. One is providing directional lighting throughout both the new addition and the existing parking deck, and then also a photometric plan to address the outgoing light at the property line.
I would make that motion, but I wanted to ask if you had a question, you approached the podium, and
Yes,
if you wanted to.
I wanted to address the comment that was made about replacing all of the existing lights in the
Okay.
parking deck. It would only be replacing the existing lights that are on the top level that are pole mounted.
I think those were the ones that were being
Still-
identified.
I just
still-
wanted to make that clear.
Okay. thank you.
Mrs. Bell still, yes, okay.
That's the problem.
Is the one on top.
There's no cap,
Okay.
so it's like stadium lighting all around the top of it.
I gotcha.
Inside lights are no problem.
Okay, well, I will make a motion to approve AD 240302 with those 2 proffers.
Second that.
One second. All right. Mr. Armstead,
Yes.
Mr. Henniger,
Yes.
Ms. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Broadhead,
Yes.
and Mr. Roberts.
Yes, so case will go forward with a positive 5-0 recommendation from the commission. Thank you. Okay, do we have any, before we leave, any communications from staff?
I just wanted to note the fact that Mr. Roberts has been reappointed for another 6-year term on the planning commission. His first
Congratulations.
6-year term expired, but he was recently reappointed for another term. And then also, Mr. Armstead was appointed to serve as the liaison between the planning commission and the Board of Zoning Adjustment. So he will be serving also on the Board of Zoning Adjustment. So congratulations to both of you.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Okay, on that note, I'll adjourn the meeting.